here. Thank you very much for joining. So let's see. Let's wait a bit, like like 1 more minute, then we'll start. I don't want to wait. I don't want to take too much time. So because normally how these things are supposed to be is like we'll just do like a presentation and then just to talk about what we've learned, and then we'll just take a look at the assignments and then just review the assignments and then put pointers here and there. Right. And then if there are like any questions that we need to have, we'll have those questions. If there are any discussions that we need to have, we'll also have those discussions as well. So let me share my screen very briefly. Okay. Just do this, join the link now. All right. Oh boy. Felix. The enter apparently. Okay, so let's just get started. Time not really day. Thankfully I'm recording this session, so and I'll be putting it on YouTube. So like if anyone wants to watch, go ahead and watch. All right. So let's take a look at the task at hand that we actually had. This week's topic was essentially on, well, that's bad. This week's topic was essentially on lines and shapes, right? And the elements of design. Okay. And then, we just spoke about, I'm pretty sure must have gone through some of these materials, talking about lines, talking about, when and where to actually use lines. I think this is mostly just lines, right? Talking about shapes as well in design and what kind of shapes to actually have to use in design. It's a very small, short, but also very important topic for us as designers. And here's why. What a lot of people don't know how to do is how to deconstruct design. So let's say you have a very complex design, right? All complex designs, sorry, let me add this person in. Video. All right. Where is okay, this is not, I'm not looking at the right place. Okay. So if you see a complex design, for example, I mean, everyone knows that complex designs are basically a combination of shapes all arranged together to achieve a certain result or a certain harmony. So typical shapes that we'll always encounter are the regular ones. We have squares, we have let me remove the outline, and I'm using Illustrator. Not naturally I would have used Figma, but because Illustrator is open, so I'm just running with it. Or let me just use Figma instead. I think Figma will be better. All right, so let me just open up Figma. Is anyone watching this new Lord of the Rings? Cool.
I tried to. Man. I got
Like it's
tired.
bad. Like ah, I've never
I
seen
felt there were too
anything.
many stories in one. There were like
No,
too
no,
many
it's not.
stories and events were going on at the same time. Couldn't catch up with which one.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
didn't know which is more important and which is the sub, which is the main story. Like
That I think I don't know, Jerry. The people who wrote it just they did not do a really good job at all. All
I
right,
think they
so let me.
rushed it with the
Yep,
plan to just
maybe they rushed it. You're right. Maybe they rushed it, yeah, but
and I don't want to join the content sharing for what is who owns this? Is it these people? Amazon Prime, I be
yeah, na Amazon Prime, they're the ones streaming it. Yeah,
I'll say rush them. They are separated those things because they were too much for people.
too many stories. There was no central,
Mm-hmm.
and it was very very distracting. Jesus, and they couldn't tell a coherent story, and in the process of trying to tell their own type of story, well, whatever the story that they wanted to tell, then that's started breaking the canon up and down, and it was, in my opinion, it was just trash. Okay, so let's get to this. Let me look for any design, maybe on Dribble or Behance. I think Dribble will be a good place to actually check. Dribble. So let's open this and this. And also this as well. Now you'll see that with the designs that I'm opening, you see that there is a consistent theme. What other one can one actually use? Hey, Kuka, nice. Oppo, Ramotion did something for Oppo. Nice. All right, so let's just check. Let's just go through some of the things that we just discovered. Now you'll see that in this particular design that we have here, right? Well, at least these are just basically icons. It's not like it's any complex design, but it's just icons. Now, but if you now take a look at these icons, you'll see that they are all designed. They were all designed with lines, right? Lines that take shape, lines that have a particular type of shape. And you also notice that the width of these lines are consistent across board. So that at no one point is one side of the icon thicker than the other. All consistent. Let's check out another. Oh boy, this is animation. Okay, so apparently I don't think I can touch this. I can touch this. Let's push this to one corner. Again, if you look at it very well, you can reconstruct these things into shapes. All these are complex, not complex shapes per se. All these are deformed shapes, right? And they might look like pretty difficult, but they are fantastically easy to create, especially if you have a good circle. So let's say you have this circle, right? And then let's remove this and remove that. This is just a rounded corner. Who the entrance? Who they get? Oh, okay. All right. So this is just essentially just rounded corners in Figma, but nonetheless, it's still a shape. To create these abstract circles, right, or these deformed circles, as I think they should be called, all you just simply need to do is move things around, move the nodes around, right? And you begin to get these really interesting, complex shapes. Okay, well, let's not do it like that, right? And that's essentially what they did here. Just deformed a circle up to the point, I mean, up to the point that it looks good. And if you deform the circle long enough, right, you can have, let's say, let's move this a little, oh no, oh boy. You just turn this way. And then you can just, I don't know, if you are creative enough, you can just turn this way and then just scale it up a little bit like this. Shape don't finish now. So I'm just going to mask all of these in Figma. So just so that we can have like some kind of, something similar to what is up there. So it's pretty much the same thing. It's pretty much it's a very consistent thing, right? So the crux of this entire of our discussion is just to say one and one thing only. One, all complex designs can be deconstructed into shapes and lines. And if you're able to do that, if you're able to deconstruct this complex, if you're able to deconstruct complex designs into shapes and lines, then it's easy for you to actually figure out how these designs were created in the first place, right? And I think that's the entire crux of this entire session. Shapes and lines. Knowing what type of shapes you want to use, knowing how you want to deform them. And again, circles are not the only thing that you can actually deform. You can also deform rectangles and cubes, right? So if you are going to deform a rectangle and cube, of course, bear in mind that your results are going to be very angular, right? But you can have like really abstract and complex, complex shapes, complex and deformed shapes. So you can do something like this. You can even create like good perspectives and then just design things off these logos. So yeah, I think that's essentially about lines and shapes and all the things that we actually need to know about lines and shapes. So let's take a look at what everyone did and if there's any feedback to be given or to be had. Now, I noticed one thing here, and I think this is something that I feel that I should bring to everyone's attention. A lot of people don't pay attention to detail, and it was interesting to see because the task was very simple and was very clear, and I made it simple and clear so that being that it's the first task, nobody gets confused. Everyone is just trying to get used to the system that we're trying to build here. Okay, so let me open Notion, and this was the task. Create a design using geometric shapes and lines only. Use only one color. And everyone just went off. Everyone just went off. Where is my Trello? Oh boy. Trello. Jesus Christ. Trello was open here just now. What happened? Okay, there it is. All right, so let's start with Felix. Felix N.M. Moore. I don't think he's here. But his design, I think what I liked about it was, he just incorporated shapes, right? And it's very simple, simple shapes and simple shapes, simple lines, very, very nice. My problem was, remember our assignment was simple shapes and lines and one color. And Baba went ahead and used two colors. This is Shakor, Shakrudin, Raji. Simple stuff. Put a triangle, put a circle, and then create a sun. One color. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't need to look pretty, right? He just did the assignment, and that was it. And it kind of struck me that this is pretty much how most of us approach briefs from clients. You have a particular brief, you have something that you are told to do. There are specifications, there are constraints that you already have. And then you just go all out. And at the end of the day, when the client rejects it, you're wondering, why, what did I do wrong? Oh, this client does not understand design. No, you didn't understand the brief and you didn't pay attention to the brief. That's the truth. All right. This was from Deji. Deji is very straightforward. At Hamzat just made a cloud. Simple cloud, no problem. Who did this one? Ayodele Destiny. I like this visual. My problem is he went ahead and used multiple colors. But other than that, it's a very simple visual. Now, when we are talking about geometric shapes, we are not talking about complex or deformed shapes. It's just basic shapes. Okay, basic shapes like circles, squares, or polygons, triangles, things that are like things that exist in their shapes that exist in their natural form without any form of deformation. Okay, can everyone hear me, or am I speaking to myself?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear
Okay,
you.
all right. Okay, let me see. Okay, let's go back to Jesus. I've lost the assignment again. So let's go back to this. So who's next? Temitope Odun. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm just here destroying somebody's name, Sha. I like this. It's very straightforward. It's very simple to actually grasp. You look at it, you already know, right? You already know what's actually happening. This is an arrow, and this is a rhomboid, or what's is it? Is it a parallelogram or a rhomboid? Who's having maths for you?
Parallelogram.
It's a parallelogram. Okay, so what's a rhomboid then?
It's kind of like
Like a kite with
the
equal sides.
yeah.
Oh, it's like a kite. Okay, okay,
Equal
okay.
with equal sides.
With equal sides. Okay, okay, that makes sense. All right, cool. This tree is just like four circles stacked on top of each other, and the middle is a rectangle. I'm not sure what this shape is, Sha, but I like it. All right. Someone went ahead and did Maggie Cube, and man, it touched my heart, man. um, I'm not sure what this is, but as far as I can tell, I think this is a car. It has to be a car. This is from who owns this one now? This is from Temitope Henry. I hope this is a car, to be honest. Oh, shape and D. Huh. Oh, I don't know what this is. Oh. These are whoever this person did. Who did this? Let me check. This is from this is Nelson. Nelcom. So my problem, they should not they should not let Nelcom and the person who designed the Japanese flag, they should not meet at all, because Nelcom just came, put lines together, put like a couple of shapes together, and called it today. No, but I'm just making fun of the entire thing. Yeah, he did the work and he did it perfectly well. It's one color. It's all it's lines and shapes and all whatnot. This was a good one. This is Tosin. Tosin, you are here, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so first of all, I like this. I like the idea of it, but you didn't need to put this lighter side because remember, yeah, you're only supposed to use one color,
Yeah.
so you didn't need to put the lighter side. But I like it. It looks good, no doubt. Be different, man. I really don't know what to make of this because it is everything that the task is not. It has lines, yes, but it also has text, and this is a primary example of you didn't read the brief. This is Ayomide Adebayo. Like you really did not read the brief, right? This person read the brief clearly. Olalekan Ola Sende. This person read the brief very clearly, and I love the way he arranged it and the colors that he used. Um, Splendid, in my opinion. Splendid. Uh, let's see who wants this one. Week one sensation. I'm not going to read this. Yeah, well, in the real sense of it, actually, he did the assignment, although there was no need for this text, right? Well, he did the assignment because there are lines, there are shapes flying around. This is all well and good. This person, David Oyewole, decided to go create crazy and then just put ripples. Fine. Um, huh. I don't know how to feel about this. Do you think this person did it? Do you think this person did the assignment? Hmm?
Well, technically, he did use shapes to create stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think. I think. Okay. Oh, battery day at 1%. It's all right. The Lord will do it for you in Jesus' name. Um. Okay, this is fine. Join the movement. Hmm. Okay. 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 This is fine too. I guess. This thing reminds me of those art pieces that sell for 51 million, and it's literally just one straight line, in the middle of a blue background. That I so it's so abstract, I swear. But this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Let's see. How many more do we have to go? Oh, I like this. Oh God, I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. I really, really love this. So this kind of thing, and what we'll have done is we would have used thicker lines here, and then it's just be from thicker lines to thinner lines. So it looks like it's God, I wish I could do this just to show you what I'm actually talking about. But I love this. I love the idea of this. Who is kindly requesting access to the class? I really love the idea of this. All right. So right after this, we have this fellow. This is Dine. Man. Ah, this is 3D. You can't tell me this is different. This is 3D, and this person rendered this thing looks rendered, and he used tone shaders. But I don't know whether he did it in Blender or he did it in, I don't know, sure. It looks like Blender too.
Sorry, the
Yes.
INEA. It's not to. It's Illustrator.
Oh, you did in Illustrator, and wow, okay. And then so that means you also like painted in the shadows as well, right?
Yeah, everything is all painted. It's just the concept here was this. This is all box. This is still a square. This is a circle. This
Yeah,
one
they're
is
all
just
shapes, but they're all shapes, but they are 3D shapes, man. Although technically, I can't say that this is wrong technically because I didn't specify. I didn't say use flat shapes, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to really going to really hold that against you, but look, dude, man, like this looks very solid, man. This looks really really solid. Although, yeah, this looks very solid, but I think you took a gamble in the hopes that if this was client work and the client was to see this, you were hoping that the client would appreciate it 3D instead of a flat 2D, right?
No, what I was looking at was when you said we should use it to create the design. I wasn't thinking just any random, anyhow shapes. Like I was
Mm-hmm,
thinking
mm-hmm,
because you wanted it to have rhythm, you wanted to have format, something like an
mm-hmm.
animation. That's what I thought.
Okay, so
It was when I started seeing people's submissions, that's when I was like, okay, but then it's already too late. I was when I was asking for how to submit yesterday.
oh, okay, that was you, that was you, that was you, that
Yeah, I
was you.
was the one. So it was ready to I just submitted like that.
Okay, I'll let this slide. I'll let this slide. Let's see. The person that did this, Temi Tope Ogundipe. Man, yo, you were not playing. Like when other people bought knife to the fight, you came with a bazooka, man. What the hell? This is nice. This is really nice. And just by looking at this illustration, you can easily tell what is going on. You know that these are circles or these are arcs, right? You know that these are circles. In fact, literally half, three-quarter of this entire illustration is just circles, right? And the rest are just lines and then triangles and squares, right? So it's a very clear and it's a very lovely design. This person wanted to do a rocket. Oh, man, thank God they don't build rockets like this, man. This is who is this? This is Anangi Abdallah. I hope this is correct. Oh, please God. Is it? Okay, so that should be that. This I like this. I like this so much. Like when I saw it, I was like, yes, this is the assignment. This in the entirety is the assignment. Um, Ajo, this person,
Don't murder my
Ajori
name.
said
Risky,
it.
please don't murder my name. Don't murder my name. Daring.
It's Shakiriba.
Yes.
I married your sister.
Ah, ah, Leslie. We'll enter your DM later. Let's not loud it
Later
here.
on, later to.
Let's not loud it here.
Okay, sorry, 1 minute. Let me see. I think someone is trying to join in. Okay. Okay, so I take that this is an eye and it's looking at this is an abstract eye and it's looking at something. But
Yeah, I was like, at that point, I was just like, what am I looking at on my screen? So I tried to illustrate that in my head with
yeah, but
rays and
but
lines.
remember the assignment was one color
Yeah,
and you
monochrome.
just went all out.
Mm.
Okay. And then this is wow, Stephen. Is it Stephen or Stephen? Stephen Oluwasomi.
Steven.
Stephen.
Yeah.
Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm
No
sorry.
worries.
No, the PH just got to me. I'm sorry. So I like this. I actually like this. The composition of it. I like 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 it. One color red. And then you give it a name, which I think is very, very crisis. This is nice. This is nice. So now, based on what I can actually see, or based on what I've seen, right? I've been able to try and gauge and evaluate some of your strengths and weaknesses. I think some of you obviously just like the idea of being creative, or you want to express yourself, right? And that's a very good thing. Some of you have some of you have um some of you know how to composite, right? I like arrange things in such a manner that it has harmony and it has meaning, right? And these are things that we are still going to touch moving down the line. So yeah, I think that's it essentially. I think that is it from everyone. So how many people submitted? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This person. Oh, yeah, this is good. 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 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 submissions from 50. That means that let me archive this. Wait, hold on. I want to be sure that I can retrieve my archives. Okay.
If I change this code,
Okay.
and pretty much it hasn't expired, so I have to give her another one.
Okay. All right. So let's take a look at what we'll be covering for this coming week. Right. This coming week we're going to be dealing with color theory. Right. And oh god, I was supposed to add some things. Pick any. We're going to be talking about color theory. We're going to be talking about the various types of colors and how they are associated with various emotions. We're going to be talking how to pick and combine colors, right? And your task for this week is going to be pick any 5 brands, identify their brand colors, and then the type of emotion that those brands were trying to convey. So which brand is the easiest to think of in terms of color? Like now, so everyone knows that if you're a brand and you're using blue and green, you are either a fintech brand or either blue or green. You're somehow a fintech brand. You're somehow into fintech. If you use red and orange or red and yellow, you're a food brand, obviously. If you are using purple, either you're a fashion brand or you just you like the idea of luxury, purple and gold, for example. So I want us all to like go enter this week, take a look at colors, color theory, really study it, and then pick, do the take home assignments. Just pick any 5 brands, identify the brand colors, and then what emotion that the brands are actually trying to convey. Second assignment essentially is pick any 3 colors, write that down, any 3 colors, and create a logo. Create a logo out of it. Should I limit it to just logos, or do I put like some kind of create a brand out of it?
Master Lee,
But do you
when
mean
you
like
say brands,
Okay,
like
let me
what do you
rephrase. Let me
mean?
rephrase. Let me not say brand, right? Create a visual identity out of it. Now, Visual identity is a little more straightforward. Brand has a lot more that goes way beyond the visual side of things. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to outline the simple things, the things that you'll be expected to work on. So let me just call this visual identity out of it. It should contain, oh gosh, no, I dunked that. It should contain one, the logo should contain something simple actually. Just you have your logo there, you have social media ad. One social media ad. I don't want to go into that's one social media ad or a billboard poster, either of the two. Okay. So pick any three colors, create a visual an identity pack out of it. Just do a logo and then either a social media ad. No, let me not all. Let me do and a billboard poster. Yes, I think that should be fine. That should be fine. So that's your task for the week. Please, and please, I will be going over I'll be documenting the people who submitted their assignment this week, and those who did not, they will be collecting their first strike. Remember, you missed 2, you're out. I think I want to re-impress what I'm trying to accomplish here, right? I'm not after a large class, or I'm not after a crowd per se. What I'm interested in doing is I want to run an experiment, and I want to see how we can cultivate a renewed sense of design, or a renewed appreciation for design, right? That's why I want us to go back to the roots. That's why I want us to really read and study, and I would really appreciate if all of us were to take this seriously, because I can promise you this exercise that we are participating in is going to make every single one of us better for it in the long run. So all I ask of you is your participation. All I ask of you is your time. There is a place that I want all of us to get to, and we can only get there if we get there together. So yeah. Thank you guys for joining this session.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes,
I
go
have a
ahead.
question.
Mhm.
All right. So you said 3 colors.
Yes.
Would that mean for each color a brand? That would be 3 brands.
No. So
Okay. The
just
brand must incorporate those 3 colors.
the brand must incorporate those 3 colors.
Okay.
Yeah. Any more? Good. So any more questions? Oh yes. So like I said, so this coming week we are going to start picking anyone at random to actually present what they learned this week. So it's not just going to be me doing the bulk of the talking. I'll just introduce the class. And then someone will come and then talk about color theory. It's going to be a full-on presentation. And the reason for this is I want you to be able to articulate your thoughts. I want you to be able to have the confidence to present your ideas as clearly as possible. Right? So that is that about that. So by tomorrow, I will have selected the person and I'll have made that known. Then we can all begin. Thank you guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can reach out to me in the group, and I will do my best to answer your questions. Again, I'm imploring you all, let us take this as seriously as possible. I am not after a large crowd, right? I'm not after a very large class. I just want a scenario where everyone succeeds and gets better as creatives at the end of the day. So let's take this as seriously as possible. Precious, do you have a question?
You mentioned about where like this color theory, like a
Yes.
fintech app is like blue and green and all that. But there are times
Yes.
when there are some brands that use different colors. Like there was a time when a brand was using like a red. It was a fintech app, it was using red,
Mm-hmm.
and
So it's yes,
so,
go on.
so yeah, so it was like I think it was conflicting because in fintech when you are showing red in balance, it looks like you are going down. So it was like a very tough sell
Yes.
because at every time when you are designing interfaces, you have to like try to stay away from like using red, which is like also the brand color for that. So
Yes.
I was asking like, are there times when you have to like contradict that like okay, red is for danger or red is for attention, that kind of thing. But I'm building a fintech app. Let me avoid
Mm.
that. So
Mm.
yeah.
Okay, so I'll give you a real life example. Lekon, I'm coming to you. Just 1 minute, yeah. I'll give you a real life example. Some time back, I had the chance to work on Sterling Bank's mobile banking app, right? And Sterling Bank is a so if you looked at Sterling Bank's branding, you will be rolling on the floor laughing because Sterling Bank has almost 20 colors. They have an entire gamut of colors that you can play with. So it was, but but they were very specific that the primary color was always the red, right? And we wanted to use, we didn't know how to use the other colors for the button types. I mean, for the button colors. So we ended up having to use red. So it then fell to us now, say, okay, how do we now represent an error when you are designing an interface? Let me show you. Let me give you an example of what we might have encountered back then. I can't remember the full gist of it, but this is it. So say for example, you have um sorry, button. Good. Put this here. Say for example, you have your app design. I'm not doing anything specific or I'm not doing anything aesthetically fine. I'm just trying to like make a point, right? So you have so this is your card, right? And then you have some text here. Let's call this dashboard. They have some yada yada things that are just here, things that just occupy this space. Maybe like your transaction history, blah 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 blah. Now, if it's something, if there's an action that you need to take, that action has to be in red, right? So it's going to be something like this: take action. Now, at the back of the user's mind, yeah, this thing is red, so he has to pay attention. He has to know that, at the back of his mind is like, I have to be very observant of what's going on here because it's red, and I'm tapping a red button. Anything can happen. What does this red mean? It doesn't mean I should go forward. Is it trying to delete something? Is it trying to warn me about something, right? And then when you now encounter a scenario whereby you have to do a yes or no type of thing, how do you now represent it? Because it's going to look something like this. So let's say this is yes. This is our yes button. And the no button will probably now be this. Okay. Or we would just or we would go ahead and create like ghost buttons. A ghost button, something like this. It was very, very confusing back then. But because it was the brand, there was very little we could actually do. So we just had to make like the best out of it. So these type of scenarios do happen. So it then falls on you, yeah. If you encounter such a scenario, it falls on you to reach out to the stakeholders and then talk to them about it. And because it's a very serious UX issue. But if they insist, you just work with the best that you can, to be honest. Now, to address your earlier question as to why some brands or why some fintech brands go with other colors instead of like the standard blue or green or whatnot. Kuda is purple, right? Now Kuda's brand is a lot easier to explain away. Carrywise is blue, Piggy Vest is blue. Um Pockets, which used to be a bag, I think they maintained their purple, right? GT Bank is orange, which is the most unbelievable of them all. They somehow made it work. But if you were to take a random sampling of all the fintech of like say 20, 15, 10, 15 apps out there, I can tell you confidently like 60% of them would be either blue, would be one form of blue or green. So that's just that about that. I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so any other questions? I'm here. Oh, yeah. Lekon, you raised your hand. What's up?
Thanks. Please, I just want to ask. I don't know if you probably touched on it already. I actually joined late. What's
Okay.
the duration of this program?
To be honest, if I told you that I knew, I would be lying.
All right, it's fine. I just want to know what's
Oh,
up.
here's
It's fine.
okay. So let me tell you this. Right? Because I'm still in the process of actually putting together like the content work of all the things that we're going to be studying and learning. Because remember, we are doing like 4 things, right? We're covering what's it called? We're covering branding. We're covering the foundations of design. We're covering branding. We're covering product design. That's product thinking. And we're also covering freelancing. This thing could extend to like 6 months.
I'm
It's
available. No
long.
problem.
Yeah.
I said I'm available. Even 8 months, I'm available.
It could extend to 6 months. But the reason why I'm
Master,
pushing for it is because I believe that it is necessary knowledge that every single one of us needs to have. And if if this exercise is able to make you better, then you can also transfer what you've learned to other people. We need to step up the level of design, of at least of visual design and design in general within our space. And if we don't do it with exercises like this, we will continue to suffer. Right? So that is that about that. I think I mentioned in the group that everyone who partakes in this basically if you are still here at the end of the 6 months, assuming it's 6 months, hopefully it's less. But if you are still here, you get a certificate from Overlay Academy. Like I said, this is an experiment, initially an experiment, but I want to see this to the end. Okay. Any further questions? Steven, you raised your hand. What's up?
Okay, yeah. Hello, good evening.
Good
So,
evening.
yeah. So with regards to brand colors, I don't know.
Mhm.
Sometimes I think about it. I think it's kind of philosophical. Sometimes not necessary. But like
Mhm.
for food brands now, you see that you said red and yellow, which I agree with. Red, yellow, orange, the warm
Mhm.
tones. Those are what
Mhm.
food brands use. But
Yes.
there's this challenge. I believe, the original point of branding is for a business to stand out. So branding was like to stand out for fitting. So you want your target customers to be able to understand, to be able to recognize that, okay, this is your category, but you still
Mhm.
want to stand away from the competition. So how do you balance it? Because I keep thinking about it. I think like GTB you mentioned now. Sometimes I
Mhm.
think GTB did a terrific work because they didn't follow the standard, like the boiler templates, but then
Yes.
they are able to make it work and they are distinct from everybody else. So I'm now wondering that I think there may need to be a way. So this is just me thinking that there should be a way to like break the standard, the status quo, and
Mhm.
still be able to communicate that this is your brand, this is your category, but you're not doing, because sometimes designers, sometimes we tend to do what's more comfortable. This is this, we pick this. But how
Mhm.
do we, I don't know if you get what I mean.
I get what you're saying. Actually,
Yeah, so that's
I get what you're saying. So before
yeah,
I
so that's
even
my question.
Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, about which of them? Because A lot of figures is a lot of things.
Okay, so essentially, I think essentially what he's trying to say is, and Stephen, please make sure that I'm representing your question correctly. What he's trying to say
All
is
right.
that there are how does a brand differentiate itself, even if it's using already established um psychological colors, right? So for example, now we have Mr. Biggs, we have KFC, we have Chicken Republic. All of them use red, yellow, and orange in various degrees. But how are they different, or how do they distinguish themselves? Right? That's number one. And then number two, is
Okay,
it
okay.
possible? Okay, answer the first one. Answer the first one.
Let me answer the first one. Yeah, let me answer the first one. Yeah, the thing about branding, yeah, is before we even start to designing anything at all, there's the part called brand strategy. Yeah, this is where those of you who will not sign up for the brand design class we lose. Sorry, but but so there has to be a strategy to everything. I was just kidding, don't mind me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so the strategy part where the brand has to know why they are doing what they are doing. There's this circle called the Simon Sinek's golden circle, where there is what, why, and how, right? So the most important thing is the why. So each company, once they figure out their why, they are all doing food, but why, right? So when they figure out their why, they don't know their what. So that's what helps them differentiate themselves. So like the Chicken Republic has always used that their chicken. If you notice the chicken head everywhere, no matter the colors may look the same, but the chicken head is always there to decide that look, why chicken first brand before every other thing that will sell. So anything you are buying from Chicken Republic, judge it from the chicken. You understand? So that strategy is help them separate them from other brands. So the rice might not be good, whatever, but their chicken is always nice. So I think that's how you're gonna do it. Did I answer your question?
Okay, so let me add let me just reinforce what you just said. Everything you said is very, very valid, because if we wanted to create a brand, if you wanted to create a brand or a visual identity, or anything of that sort, it's there are a lot of considerations and a lot of nuances that you have to take in consideration, that you have to take into consideration. Take for example, why do you think that no bank has ever bothered using black as part of their
I've not thought
branding?
about it though.
I've never really given
I've not
it
thought
a
about
thought.
it though.
Why? I think they are trying to be distinct in a way.
Okay, so take this brand for a number. For example, now number this NOMBA. Those ones they are just number was already a brand. I can't remember I've forgotten the name of the. No, it is no number used to be Kudi.
Yeah.
Okay,
It was Kudi.
number used to be Kudi, and
Yeah,
Kudi was
Kudi.ai.
green and eh? Sorry.
Someone
Kudi.ai.
say something.
Yeah,
Kudi.ai.
Kudo, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So Kudi used to be green and purple, which was very so he just discarded everything and just went black and white. You get, and they were able to get away with it because there was already an existing brand, and then they had like really, really smart rollout strategy, so everyone could easily familiarize themselves with the
And
name of
money and plenty money
and then
because they
of
use
course.
money. Yeah.
Of course, that they use money, and so like I said, it's not just one thing. It's not just the colors. You can't just depend on the colors, because the colors is there to psychologically reinforce the message that you're trying to push. But you also have to remember there's
Exactly.
also
Yeah,
typography,
yeah.
there's also copy, there's also photography, there's also design elements. All of these things come together to create a distinct identity for the brand, and it's that distinct identity that separates Kuda Bank, for example, from okay, wait, let me see. Which two? Okay, easiest example is that distinct identity that separates Carry Wise from Piggy Vest. Both of them use blue. Both of them have curves, but their logos, their identities are just too separate, right?
Yeah. So that means it's
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
entire. So we should focus more on the entire identity, the entire message that is being
Exactly. Yeah.
passed across, rather than little. We don't silo color and typography and everything from the whole thing.
I agree. However, this is an exercise, yeah, and we are trying to we are building towards something. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not trying to restrict you. If you want to go all out. But remember, the primary focus of this particular assignment is
Okay.
colors and your
That's
use of
great.
colors. So,
Awesome. Thank you very much.
I know all. All right. So, any more questions? Please, if you are lost or you feel shy, um, I just want to let you know that this is not the group for that. Don't feel shy. No, it's the truth, because I mean there are some people who really feel they might feel out of place. Maybe they can't really connect to the things that they are talking about. Please do not feel like that. If you do not understand, or if you want us to really coach you, or you want like a primer, reach out to anyone, reach out to me, reach out to someone. We will do our best to help. Okay, because that's why we are all here. We are all here so that we can all help each other grow. Okay, so if you're feeling lost or you don't understand anything, don't hesitate. Ask, raise your voice, let us know. Okay. All right. So if there are no other questions, I think it is safe for us to call this session to a close. Thank you guys again once more for coming and for joining. We will see each other next week, Saturday, same time, same station. God bless. Don't forget your assignments. Please have them submitted 6 p.m. on Friday next week. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. What else? I have this thing with you brand later this evening in like an hour and 30 minutes. If you want to be part of that, I think the link is on my WhatsApp. Well, I'll share the link here as well when they start. So just pop in and listen to whatever nonsense I have to say. Thank you guys, and then see you guys later. All right, bye.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a great
All
day.
right.
Bye,
Thank you.
guys. See you
Bye.
next Leslie.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
I forgot to turn off recording. DG.